Hello students, welcome to a lesson through the virtual training center of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher, and in this lockdown period, since we are not able to go to school, children, we will be doing many lessons here online through the virtual class. So come on, let's proceed to our lesson for today.
So children, here we are continuing the lesson that we started last time. So if you remember, we were doing the lesson in standard 3rd and the subject was environmental studies or EVS, and we were doing lesson number 15 and the topic was our body. Now children, we did one video previously and you must have seen the video and you must have enjoyed the video and also learnt a lot of things about the various parts of our body. So now in this second part of the video, children, let us continue with the lesson, and now we have already learnt about the parts of the body. So let us see what are the other points that are to be covered in this particular lesson. Okay, so let us quickly recap what we did last time. We talked about the various parts of our body in detail. We talked about the three main parts. That is, first you have the head, then you have the torso, and then you have the limbs. And in the limbs you have your hands and your legs. Okay, then we looked at our head and we understood that as part of our head we have our hair, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, etc. And then we also talked about the neck, which joins the head to the torso, and in the torso we learned that we have the chest and the tummy or the stomach. Okay, and then as far as the arms and the legs were concerned, we saw that we have the upper arm, we have the wrist, we have the lower arm. Even in the leg we saw various parts of our leg also. Okay, we saw we have the toe, we have the knees, we have the ankle, the thigh, etc. So in short, we have talked about all the parts of the body that you can see from outside. Okay, we also learned two new terms, children. If you remember, we talked about organ. So what is an organ? An organ is a part of the body that is used for doing a particular work. Okay, so particular organs, they do particular work. For example, we use our legs for walking. All right, we use our eyes for looking at things, for seeing things. Then we also learned about the external organs, that is the organs which we can see, all the organs that are visible to us, that we can see. For example, if I am looking at this picture here on the screen, I can see this child's eyes, I can see his ears, I can see his fingers, I can see his arm, his knees, etc. Okay, so these are all the external organs. Now let us come to the next part of the lesson, where we are going to talk about the movements in these body parts. So we talked about all the body parts. Now let us talk about the movements. So what are movements? Movements means when we can move these body parts and go from one place to another, probably. Okay, maybe when we want to go from one place to another, we want to move our body parts, or even when we are in one particular place to do some work, you have to move your body parts. Okay, so how we will talk, we will see how we can move these parts, or how can we bring about movements in the various parts of our body. Alright, so our today's lesson will be focused mainly on the movements of the body parts. So see here, these are some more movements. See, someone is dancing and someone is throwing a ball. So these are all the different movements that you can make with the various parts in our body. Alright, now children, let us try to see how we make these movements. So try to bend your hand. Come on, try to bend your hand, all of you. See, you're sitting at home, maybe in front of the computer, or maybe you're sitting in front of your mobile phone. So let us see how you're all bending your hand. So come on, all of you, try to bend your hand And then come on, try to bend your leg also, like this lady is doing in the picture. So you can either sit in a place and you can try to bend your leg, or you can stand up and catch hold of a stool and try to bend your leg. Okay, so see, these are the movements that we can do with our hands and our legs. Let us see which parts of our body we can bend, or which parts of our body can we move. Okay, so see, you can move your hands, just now we saw in the picture. You can fold your hands like this. See how the action is, how that person is folding his hands. All right, you can also move your neck, children, apart from your hands and apart from your legs. You can also make a movement of your neck. Look at this girl, she's moving her neck from one side to another. You can also try to move your neck up and down. Come on, all of you, try to move your neck up and down. Look up and then look down. Look up, look down. So see, you're able to move your neck up and down, and you're able to move your neck like this girl is doing in the picture. What are the other parts of the body that we can move? See, we can bend our legs also like this. Can you see how she has bent her legs? All right, and we can also move our shoulders like this. See how she's raising her shoulders, raising her hands, and moving her hands at the shoulders. She's also moving her legs. Okay, she's moving her hands and she's moving her legs. So you can see how nicely these movements are happening, how we are able to bend certain parts of our body. So we can bend our neck, we can bend our legs, we can bend our arms. Okay, now let us see how this is possible. How is it that we are able to bend all these parts of our body? So children, we are able to bend, or we are able to move all these body parts because of the joints that we have in different parts of our body. Okay, so now in the various pictures that we saw now, we saw how we moved our shoulders, we saw how we moved our legs, our hands. Why can we do all this? We can do all this because of the joints that we have in the different parts of our body. So wherever we have the joints, there we can move our body, we can bend our bodies. Okay, so let us try and see which are the parts of the body where we have joints. Okay, so here we have joints at the shoulders. So come on, all of you, touch your shoulders and try to see whether you are able to bend your shoulders or move your shoulders. Yes, you're able to do it now, and you're able to do it because of the joints that you have at your shoulder. Then you have a joint at your wrist also. Wrist is the place where we wear our watch. Okay, you have joints at your fingers also. All right, so all of you, come on, move your wrist, move your fingers. See, you're able to bend your wrist, you're able to bend your fingers. That means we have joints in all these places. Let us look at the next place. See, this is the next shoulder. See, this is the knee. Come on, try to bend your knee. Keep your legs straight and then bend your knee. Straight and then bend. Okay, so you're able to bend your knees. That means there is a joint at the knee also in both the legs. Okay, then you are able to bend your waist, isn't it? So there is a joint at your waist also, at your hips also. So see, these are all the parts. In your neck also you have a joint. So these are all the parts of your body where you have joints, and therefore you can bend your body at all these parts, or you can move your body at all these parts. Okay, see, so to walk, what do we have to do? We have to bend our legs at the knee. If you do not bend your leg at the knee, you will not be able to walk. You cannot walk without bending your legs slightly at the knee. Okay, so because you have this joint at the knee, you are able to walk. You are able to make the movement of walking. See, this boy is combing his hair. And to comb the hair, you have to bend your elbow. Can you see how he has bent his elbow and he's combing his hair? Imagine if you try to keep your hand straight and you try to comb your hair, will you be able to do it? No. So you have to bend your hand at the elbow in order to comb your hair. That means there is a joint in the elbow which is moving or which is bending in order to help you to bend your elbow. Okay, then let us look at some more examples. See, these are the movements of the neck. Like I told you, you can move your neck from side to side. You can move your neck up, down. These are all possible because of the joints in your neck. So you can move your neck because of the joints in your neck. So come on, try and move your neck like this girl or these two girls in the picture are trying to do. So the first one, she is looking up, down, okay? And the other one is bending her neck sideways. So on one shoulder, then on the second shoulder, then on the first shoulder. Alright, so all these movements of the neck are possible because of the joint in the neck. So these joints, children, you will not be able to see, okay? They are inside your body. You will be able to see the neck. You will be able to see the elbow. You will be able to see the knee. But you will not be able to see the joints. But I will try and show you images or pictures of some of the joints. Alright? See? This is an image from your textbook where they are trying to bend their heads, move their heads, or you can say various actions they can do with their heads. That is because of the movement of the neck. They are moving the neck, and that is the reason the head is moving. Okay, children? So this is about movement of the neck. Now just like you can move your neck, you can move the other parts of your body also. So come on, let us try and see which other parts of the body we can move in detail. So we can move our neck because of the joint which is there in our neck. So our neck bends forward as well as backwards. It also bends to the left and to the right. It also turns to the left and to the right. See, turning means just looking towards the left and looking towards the right. Bending is different. Bending means taking your head only towards the left and taking your head towards the right. Okay, so these are the movements of the neck. Now look at the various other movements. So see, this is the elbow and this is the joint at the elbow. So why can you bend your arm? You can bend your arm because of the various joints in your arm. So you have a joint at the elbow. See, I told you now I will try to show you pictures of the joint. So see, this is the elbow joint. Can you see how it is moving? A joint, it is moving. Two bones are joined together over there. So it is called as a joint. And see how it is moving. And then now let us look at the joints in the fingers. So there are various joints which are present in your fingers also. That is the reason you are able to move your fingers like this. Isn't it interesting, children? Okay, you're getting to see the joints also over here. See, your mummy makes laddus which you love to eat. So let us look at the action which your mummy is doing in order to make the laddus. And let us try to see which parts of her arm she is trying to use. So she is trying to use, or she is using her wrist also, and she is using her fingers also, isn't it? See, she is moving her wrist. So there is a joint at the wrist which she is able to move, and because of that she is able to make the laddus. She is also moving the fingers of her hand. See how she's moving the fingers. Can you see how she's bending the fingers? So we make use of our hands to do so many other things also. We use our hands to write, we use our hands to hold various things, etc. Okay, so see, this is a joint at the wrist. Now let's come to the next part, which is the waist. So which is the waist, children? See, this part of your body is called as your waist. Alright, waist means the body, the part which is between the stomach and the legs. So that part of your body is called as the waist. It is the place where you wear your belt. Okay, now you can also bend your waist. See, and look at this girl, what is she doing? She is dancing, or she is playing with the thing called as the hula hoop. This is a hula hoop or a ring. And where is she using that ring at? Which part of the body is she using in order to turn the ring round and round? Yes, she is making use of her waist. Okay, and we can bend our body also at the waist because there is a joint at the waist. See, we can bend our body, and it is so important for us to bend our body many times when we want to pick up something from the floor, and when you want to play certain games, or even when you want to apply nail paint to your toes. Okay, when you want to tie your shoelaces, you have to all the time bend your body at the waist. So how are you able to do it? You're able to do it because of the joint which is present in the waist. Alright, now let us move further down and look at our legs. So these are our legs. Alright, we can move our legs first at the hip, and that is because of the hip joint. Alright, see, this is the hip joint, the joint at the hip. Okay, the red place that you can see, that is the hip joint. Now because of the hip joint, you can do actions like sitting. See, he's sitting, isn't it? The joint at the hips are bending, so he's able to sit, so he's able to bend his legs. Okay, so in our legs also there are various joints, and the first one is the hip joint. Okay, and then you have joints at your knees also. So see, this is a knee. What is a knee? This is a knee. Alright, and we have a joint at the knee also. See, this is our knee joint. Can you see the knee joint? And see how the joint is moving in order to help you to bend your knees. So the movement at the knees is possible because of the knee joint. Okay, see, this is how you move your knee. This is how it looks from outside. The lady has worn shoes and a grey pant and a black top. So this is what you can see from outside. But if you try to see from inside the body, this is what is happening. This is how she is able to bend her knees. Okay, so we can bend our legs at the hip because of the hip joint. You can bend your leg at the knee because of the knee joint. Okay, let's talk about the next part of your body, and that is the ankle. What is this part of our body called? Our ankle. And look at the ankle joint, children. See the ankle joint. See how the leg is moving at the ankle, down, up, down, up. You can also take it side to side, side to side. Okay, so the joint in our ankle is moving, and that is why the leg is able to move at the ankle. Okay, so this is our ankle joint. See, look here. This is how the movement of the ankle looks from outside and also from inside. So your leg can bend at the hips, it can bend at the knees, and it can bend at the ankles also. Now there is one more place in the leg where you have joints, and that is the fingers of the legs, which are called as the toes. Okay, now you have five fingers on each hand, so you have 10 fingers and you have 10 toes. So you say toes, you don't say fingers of the leg. All right, so see, inside these toes you have the toe joint. So let us look at our toe joints. See, these are our toe joints. Can you see the red part? So in every toe you have that kind of a joint. Alright, so these are our toe joints. But we cannot make too much movement with the toe joint. Okay, like we move our fingers properly, that way we cannot move our toes as much as we move our fingers. So you can see the movement of the toes is a little limited, it is a little less. All right, and so because of all these bending that we can do with our legs, because of all these joints which are there in our legs, we can make use of our legs in various ways. For example, we can stand on our legs. When all the joints are straight, we can stand. We can walk on our legs. All right, we can run. See, everywhere we are making use of the joints on our legs. Along with walking and running, see, you can jump also. So these are all the ways in which we can make use of our legs, just because they bend at the various joints. Okay, see here, we can also make use of our legs for doing various kind of work. For example, this girl here, she is stitching clothes on a sewing machine, and see how she is running the machine. She is running the machine using her legs. Okay, so these are the various ways in which you can make use of your legs. See here, you can also cycle using your legs, isn't it? Think about the other things that you can use using your legs. What other things can you do? You can hop, you can climb up the stairs, you can climb down the stairs. So all these things we are able to do with our legs. And why are we able to do all these things with our legs? Because our legs have got all these different joints. Okay, so sometimes, children, we make use of all the parts of our body in order to move, in order to walk, in order to pick up something. Okay, we move our neck, we use all the parts of our body. Sometimes you also use these parts of our body, or you try to make use of your hands, you make use of your legs if you want to communicate also. That is, if you want to talk to someone, if you want to tell someone something without opening your mouth. So those are called as actions or gestures. Okay, so this is an image from your textbook. So suppose one day you think that I am not going to open my mouth at all. I will not speak, but I will only do signs and I will only do gestures. So there are some examples given in your textbook. For example, look at the first girl. She's showing you her palm like this. What is she saying? If someone asks you, shall I leave or shall I wait? And if you want to tell the person, no, you wait, you don't go, but you do not want to speak, you do not want to open your mouth, so you will simply show your hands like this. Okay, and if someone asks you, how is the food? And if you do not want to open your mouth and say tasty, what can you do? You do this action where you join your thumb and your index finger. Okay, even if you're feeling cold, you can show it using an action. You show an action of shivering, so that means you're feeling cold. Alright, so sometimes you can also use your hands, your legs, etc. in order to do other things also. in order to communicate also, in order to put your ideas across to someone else also. See, when you want to say wait, you can do this with your hand. Instead of speaking, you can do this with your hand, isn't it? See, when you want to say something is very nice, can you see what you have done? Yes, you're saying wow, it's tasty, it's nice, but you're not opened your mouth. See, when someone is feeling cold, this action will show you that someone is feeling very cold. And you must have also heard a game, or we play a game which is called as dumb charades. Dumb means we don't speak, we just do actions in order to try and tell others what we want to say. Okay, so see, this is how we can use the various parts of our body, isn't it? You can play games, you can do signs, you can do gestures. Apart from the walking that we talked about, the running, the cycling, apart from other things, we can use our bodies, the parts of our bodies, in order to do all these kinds of actions. So come on, you should try doing this once. Okay, now we come to the last part of the lesson, children, where we talk about how we all look different from each other. Now all of us, we have the same body parts. Okay, we have a head, we have hair, we have two eyes, we have two ears, we have a mouth, two legs, two hands. All of us have got the same body parts. But look at this picture carefully and see whether all of them look same. Observe this picture carefully. See, every child in this picture looks different from the other. None of them look the same. Okay, for example, the boy who's standing, he's got a round face. The first one who's standing has got a round face. The one next to him is a little shorter than him. The next one has got a square face. Look at the girls. Some of them have got long hair. Some of them have got very short hair. Okay? Some of them, the faces are long, the faces are round. Some of them are tall, some of them are not so tall. That means all of us, we look different. There is no one in this world who will look exactly like you. Now sometimes we say that people from different countries also look different. Okay, so if you look at people around the globe, people living in America, people living in Australia, people living in Africa, people living in China, India, if you look at them, all of them have got two eyes, one nose, one mouth, two ears, hair on the head, two hands and two legs. But look at all of them. See how different they are from each other. Okay? Now you must have heard about some people, we say they are twins. So what is the meaning of twins? Twins means children who are born together. Okay? Two children who are born at the same time. But look at these twins, when they are born, they look the same. But afterwards, look at them. There is some difference in them, isn't it? So even twins do not look the same. So even though the parts of our body are the same, all of us look different from each other. Alright, children. So this was our lesson about our body. This was a long lesson which we did in two parts, children. We talked about the various parts of the body, and we talked about how we use these parts of the body. Okay, we talked about a structure of our body. We also saw some new terms, and then we talked about the movements of our body. We saw that the movement of our body is possible because we can bend our body at various parts. So we can bend our hands, we can bend our legs, okay? We can bend our body at the neck, at the waist, and we can do all this because of a particular part in our body called as the joints of our body. We looked at the various places in our body where we have joints and how the movements are possible because of all these joints. We also talked about how all of us look different in spite of having the same body parts. So that is all in this lesson for today.
So children, wasn't that a wonderful video? And did you enjoy watching it? So if you want to watch more such videos in future, then please like this video and also subscribe to our channel, the MCGM Portal for Education, and also hit the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video here. Thank you so much for now. Let's meet again soon.